Okay, so I couldn't get through to the closed campus of Three Springs, Paint Rock Valley yesterday because of tornado damage. I only have like 30 minutes here today to do any last things to try to heal, but there is a lot of tornado damage here. It's kind of shocking. I can't really figure out how to turn the camera, but there are trees down. I'm at the front office. There's a tree down on the side of the front office, and roofing just wrapped around some of the tree debris. On the other side of me, there's roof stuff just on the ground. Yeah, it's, glad I'm on a round stool. And there are trees down around the huts. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's really weird seeing all the damage and how different it is. Oh my gosh. Yeah, seeing how different it is after the tornado. Well, I was told by a neighbor down the road that it hasn't been confirmed a tornado yet, but based on all the trees down, the power lines down, and some of this stuff, I don't know, like, I'm not a meteorologist, so I can't say for sure, but to me, I don't think straight line winds would do. The damage looks more almost like it's spread willy-nilly, and some of that, I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. There's that. And by the way, there was a thing I said in one of the videos, going up the road, about how I didn't think neighbors would have helped, if somebody ran away, trying to get away from the abuse. I want to let you know, when I was driving up the road, praying that I could get through to do, one last short visit to make my peace with, the stuff that happened here. I wasn't sure if they cleared stuff enough for me to get through. And somebody was coming up the road in kind of a four-wheeler thing. And I rolled down my window and asked if the road was clear enough to get up the road. And she said up to the cemetery it was clear. But then I said, is it clear farther up the road? And she mentioned a boys' school. And that, yeah, you could get up here. But there was a lot of tornado damage. I mentioned that there was a girls' school too there, and that a lot of kids were abused for decades here. I think at least 3 or 4 decades, maybe. I don't know. I was here like 2001, September 2001 to June 2002. But I know there were people here in the 90s. I don't know if this was around in the 80s. And I know it closed in 2011. But yeah, like, I think she might know about the troubled teen industry. I think that neighbor does. And, because she also mentioned, that there are other schools open, and she knew about Pathway. So apparently she knows about, the troubled teen industry. And so it's a really good thing that there's awareness out there, that there are survivors speaking out. She knows that, she knew about the program on Netflix. Yeah, that was kind of cool. So Yeah, she knows about the documentaries. You know, all this stuff, raising awareness, is helpful because this is what's going to lead to an end to all the abuse that happens all over this country in the troubled teen industry. There are a lot of places just like Paint Rock and New Beginnings that are still open, that are still treating kids very badly. You know, all kinds of abuse going on. So I am just, that neighbor was amazing. So I recant my statement. You know, I think thanks to awareness, I think if a kid were to run away, you know, if there was still a school here, you know, I think that kid would have allies, you know, helping them, you know, with the abuse. And that, I find that really encouraging. So, yeah.